Okay, boys and girls, we are in Unit 4. Welcome to Fundations time. Today we're going to talk about more suffixes. There is a lot in this video, so please be sure to pay attention and write things down if you need to, or go back and watch it again because there's some very important things we're going to learn here. Fortunately, some of them you have already seen in other videos. So, let's get going. Today we're going to talk about more suffixes, but let's start with our trick words. Okay, your first word is please. Please don't do that anymore. Please. Okay, let's have a look at it. Your next word is again. Again. Oh, he kept doing that same thing again and again. All right, and let's have a look at it. And the last trick word for now is animal. Animal. A tiger is a large and dangerous animal. Okay, and here it is. And remember, we have 3 more trick words for this unit, but we're going to get to them in a few days. Okay, let's move on. So one of the big things that we're talking about in this unit is suffixes. And remember, suffixes are the letter or letters that go at the end of a word. Okay, we just snap them on like a Lego piece, and they change the meaning a little bit. And we've already learned about the suffix s, or sometimes es. And by adding an s, we do 2 things. We can talk about more than one thing. So instead of talking about milk, instead of talking about a glass, we can talk about glasses. Or instead of talking about a fox, we can talk about foxes. Or instead of talking about a pen, we can talk about pens. And we talked in the last video about when we use s and when we use es. So today we're going to start by talking about ed and ing. Ed has a couple of different uses. So first, let's take some base words like rent, fold, bunt, post. And now let's add the suffix ed. Rented, folded, bunted, posted. Now it looks like it's spelled with an ed, but it actually sounds like it's id. Okay, and ed does a couple of things to the meaning of the word. For now, the only thing you need to worry about is that it talks about something that is already finished. Okay, here's what I mean. We rented an apartment close to the beach. John posted signs for the festival. These are finished actions. Okay, these things are already completed. Now there is another meaning of ed as a suffix, but we're not going to worry about that for a while. Okay, so ed is attached to a base word and it changes the meaning to talk about something that is finished. Another suffix that we have is ing, and this one has many different uses, but we're only going to worry about one right now. So we take those same base words, rent, and now we make renting, fold, and then we make folding, bunt and bunting, post and posting. And we can make sentences that talk about things that are happening now. Remember, ed talked about things that were finished. Ig can talk about things that are happening now. We are renting an apartment close to the beach. And John is posting signs for the festival. And again, I want to make it clear, these ing suffixes can do a lot of other things, but we're only focusing on this right now, okay? So here's what we have so far. ED tells us an action happened in the past, right? Like cooked and looked and wiped. ING shows an action is happening now, like walking, talking, thinking. And I know I'm going to keep saying it. It can be used for lots of other things also. And finally, like we said in the last video, remember, we only tap out the base word. So when we do a word like typing, we only do t-I-P. We don't count the ing. That's a suffix. We're going to treat that in a different way, which you'll see soon. And remember, they have other uses also. So we now can take a word like this, hunt, and we can add an S, and this can talk about many hunts, like they went on 4 hunts last year, or he hunts every Saturday. Or we can do this, he hunted in the mountains. And we can do this, he is hunting with his dog. Okay, I've made the suffix cards blue. The base word doesn't change. Then we have call and ALL are all bunched together because that's a glued sound. Remember that? So call. We can also say, I made 4 calls to the office today. And my friend called me last night. And I am calling him back right now. Okay, so now we can take so many words that we know, and we can actually make a lot more just by changing the suffix. Remember, it's just like a Lego piece that we snap on and snap off. Okay, so here's what we have so far. We have 3 of the 5 suffixes that we've already learned. Now let's get to those last 2. ER and EST. ER is super important because it has 2 major uses, which we're going to talk about. First, let's take some base words like cold, tall, thick, and fast. If we add ER, we get this: colder, taller, thicker, faster. In a sentence like this, the tree is taller than my house. On the other side, we've got play, read, sing, and walk. And if we add ER to these, we get player, reader, singer, walker. I want to be the best reader in my class. These are 2 different uses of ER. This one is used when we compare 2 things. Now, I'm going to give you the big boy pants word, the big girl pants word. If you don't want to remember it, that's fine. I'm not going to test you on it. When we use ER in this way, it is called a comparative adjective. I know that's a mouthful, a comparative adjective. When we use ER in this way, okay, we use it to talk about someone who does something. A person who plays is a player. A person who reads is a reader. Okay? Then we get EST, like coldest, tallest, thickest, fastest. In a sentence like this, this is the coldest day of the year. Now, it says here at the top, this is used when we compare 3 or more things. So words that use EST in this way are called, and get ready for it, superlative adjectives. So if we look at the sentences in the middle, the blue house is tall. The green house is taller. Oh, there's the ER. We're comparing that and the blue house. The purple house is the tallest. of the three. Okay, so look all the way down at the bottom. It says, be careful. The spelling is EST, but it sounds like IST. So we don't say coldest, tallest. We say coldest, tallest, thickest, fastest. Okay, I know there's a lot to take in here. So now we have these 5 suffixes. We have the S, the ED, okay, which talks about something that happened, the ING, which talks about something that is happening, the ER, which is used to compare two things like, oh, she is faster than I am. And ER is also used to talk about something that a person who does something, okay, like be a good listener. Oh, she's a great singer. Those are ER. And EST is used when we compare 3 or more things. Like, wow, that is the tallest building I have ever seen. So now let's see if you can spell some words. The first one is wildest. Wildest. That was such an exciting game. That was the wildest ending I have ever seen. Wildest. Wildest. Okay, here it is. Your next one is softer. Softer. I think this blue blanket is softer than the white one. Softer. Softer. Okay, let's have a look at it. The next one is pressing. Pressing. I'm pressing every button, but I can't change my screen. Pressing. Okay, let's have a look at that. The next word is kicker. Kicker. He was a very famous kicker for the New York Giants. A kicker. Kicker. All right, let's have a look. The next word is stuffed. Oh, I am stuffed. If you stuff your face, if you stuff yourself with lots of food, you will be stuffed. Don't be tricked by the sound. Here it is. And the last one is fastest. Fastest. When I lived in Japan, I traveled on some of the fastest trains in the world. Fastest. Okay, here it is. How did you do? Okay, I know some of them are a little tricky because they don't sound the way they're spelled. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a later video. But that's it for now. Okay, so I hope you all learned a lot in this lesson and are ready for a lot more. Fundations is about to get pretty interesting. All right, boys and girls, that's the end. See you later. The end.